welcome to Stark or Stank. My name is Aaron, and I'm here with Josh.
Hello, I am also here and also live.
We are live. We're live.
Oh, fucking. Are we? Am I? Is it?
Oh yeah. I mean, if you want to get philosophical, I mean, who can say, really?
I think, therefore, I am. Unfortunately,
that's the rumor.
So they say.
This week we are talking about She-Hulk. This is our 40th episode, Josh.
40th?
This is our 40th episode. And it's She-Hulk. It's a TV show they made. There's 9 whole episodes. They're very short. I figured out rewatching it this week that I was like, oh my God, I have to sit and watch fucking 9 episodes. They're very short. And also, it's not a very like action-oriented show, so you can kind of just have it on the background. You're not going to miss a whole lot just by listening to the characters talk, which is what they do mostly in this show.
Yeah, that's true. It is a very comedy and dialogue-focused show with maybe like an episode's worth of action all up.
Mm-hmm. So, what an episode it is. Let's talk about some trivia. There's not a whole lot of trivia about this show. The only thing is that, although each transformation from Jennifer Walters to She-Hulk and back is created using CGI, Malia Araya plays She-Hulk on set for having reference of She-Hulk size. Her face, well, it says her face is replaced by Tatiana Maslany, but let's face it, her entire body is replaced by CGI. Yes. And Maslany is 5'4", while Araya is 6'5" and a quarter.
That's fucking nuts, because I'm just barely 6'5" and a tall boy.
You sure are.
It's a tall lady.
Yeah. That's a big hulking woman, I guess. So, typically we do this synopsis thing, right? I go to shitdom.com, the worst website that's ever existed, and I go there. Well, maybe not the worst website. It's definitely in the top 3.
It's the worst, least offensively bad one.
I guess, yeah, you could say that. So I go there and then I read a synopsis. The synopsis for this show was 4 pages. And so I'm not going to read that.
Did you know to properly synopsize She-Hulk Attorney at Law, you had to pass the bar?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know that. So
get that thinking cap on.
If only I had known that before we started this whole series.
Yeah, we could start studying for it back at Iron Man and we still wouldn't be ready.
Yeah, I guess. So instead, this week, I'm using Wikipedia, thanks to a suggestion from Josh, which is much more manageable. They just have like a, kind of quick synopsis for each episode. And
imagine the grammar and spelling is... Smelling? I have to imagine
the smelling.
The grammar and spelling is like slightly better, maybe.
We'll see. It's definitely less verbose.
Not a bad
so it's got that going for it. Okay, here we go. Episode 1, titled A Normal Amount of Rage. That would be with the part where... A normal amount of rage! That's what I was looking for.
Is that why you dragged that out?
That's right. It doesn't play when you click the thing. You actually have to click the thing and then press play.
A normal amount of rage.
Yep. Okay. I thought you were doing your best Triple H impression.
I was not.
Your sentences and adding a "n" at the end of everything.
Never. I would never do that. Before a court case, lawyer Jennifer Walters tells the viewers about an incident a few months earlier where she and her cousin Bruce Banner were in a car crash after an encounter with a Sicarian spacecraft. While attempting to get Banner to safety, Walters was cross-contaminated with his blood, causing her to transform into a Hulk. Benner took Walters to a secret laboratory in Mexico where he trained her to control her powers. She was able to effortlessly handle his training regimen, but she rejected the idea of becoming a superhero full-time. Benner tried to stop her from leaving, and the two fought until Benner reluctantly accepted Walters' wish to return to her legal career. Back in court, Walters is interrupted by superpowered influencer Titania, who violently bursts through a wall while fleeing from her own trial. Walters transforms, defeats Titania, and returns to normal to make her closing argument.
I feel like there's probably a better way to escape your trial than busting through the wall into another trial.
Yeah, I don't think it's the best. She definitely fucked up.
Yep.
I'm just gonna say it on record. I think she fucked up. Yes. This is a really fun way to introduce the character. We get to see Bruce for a while, and we get to see a couple of Hulks fight, and
Hulk training montage.
This is the one that made the incels cry, so that makes it really good.
Wait. It's the one that made the incels cry?
This was the beginning.
Yeah, of course, it's episode 1.
Nine
whole episodes of incels crying.
There was that one part that made the incels cry.
Where Jen is just naturally better at controlling her emotions because she's a woman and has to do it all the time anyway.
Yeah, exactly. How dare she? How dare she say that?
I remember thinking at the time that, it's probably on point. Maybe a little on the nose, and then everyone overreacted to it. So now I'm firmly on the side of.
Yeah, no, good job, show.
Like, if I wasn't already on board with this messaging, all the dipshits getting mad about it definitely put me on Team She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm. Sames. I agree. You got anything to say about the episode? Anything you want to bring up?
Eating Cheetos with chopsticks is fucking weird. I don't care if you get Cheeto dust on your fingers. Eating Cheetos, just don't eat them like a fucking weirdo.
That's fair.
It's so involved.
I almost, like a week ago, I almost 3D printed some chopsticks for eating Cheetos.
I thought you were gonna say you almost 3D printed some Cheetos for eating.
That too, but no.
Don't do that. That's not healthy.
Give it a go.
Somehow
I can try.
Real Cheetos.
Nothing's stopping me. Nothing's stopping me.
Like.
Not good.
So that might be stopping you.
Episode 2, Superhuman Law.
Oh, no, there is one more thing before we move
Oh,
on to
yes.
episode 1.
I know what you want to say.
America fucks. What a good way to end the episode. Like, they start on Jen sort of theorizing that, Captain America got his power. He grew up in this time, got his powers, went to war, got shipped off, got frozen, got woken up, went from world-ending crisis to world-ending crisis. So obviously he never had time for a dating life, so he must have died a virgin, and that's
right.
And then, the little post-credits thing of them getting drunk and talking about it and kind of sort of spilling all the details. It's good. It's good stuff. Fun little bit.
Yeah. Now I forgot what I was gonna say. Something about something, and yes, I like you could tell this show from front to back was planned and it's well thought out. Yeah, there's a Sakaran ship, and you're like, what the fuck is the go there? And
none of us had any idea at all.
Well, I mean, it could have been anything.
Nerds and not the huge super nerds.
Right. So there's that, which doesn't get paid off till the very end of the show. We've got the inhibitor thing on Banner, which is foreshadowing.
Also, I feel like that's called out in the episode as well.
What, is it?
It may not be this one, but she definitely calls out an inhibitor as she really lampshades it as foreshadowing.
Okay. Well, still,
But that's
lots of
part the
stuff
meta
that's set up
humor.
in one episode and paid off later on, all through the series. It all kind of wraps up, and I think it's really, really well written show. I think.
Yeah, and like the fact that it does that while still being a very, what's the word I want to use? Like episodic.
Mm.
But that's not the word I was going for. But anyway, episodic works. Like very self-contained case of the week, little mini drama of the week style episodes.
Yes.
They're all good. You can just sit down and watch one and be done, or you can watch a whole series and be like, ah, yes, the connections. It's good.
You've got an overarching season plot as well as all your mini plots in each episode.
Yeah, and A and B plots that intertwine. It's good stuff.
Episode 2, Superhuman Law. Walters gains public notoriety after defeating Titania and is dubbed She-Hulk. However, the case is declared a mistrial after the defense successfully argued that her fight with Titania influenced the jury, and she is fired from the district attorney's office. Unable to find other work, Walters is offered a position by opposing counsel Goodman, Lieber, Kurtzberg, and Holloway, and impulsively accepts, bringing along her best friend Nikki Ramos as her paralegal. On Walter's first day, GLKNH partner Holden Holloway informs her that he wants her to head up the firm's new superhuman law division and work as She-Hulk full-time. Her case is to represent Emil Blonsky / Abomination at his parole hearing. Though initially reluctant due to Blonsky's past attempt to kill Banner, Walters gets Banner's approval and accepts the case as he departs inside a Sakaran spacecraft. Walters soon learns that Blonsky apparently escaped from prison and participated in an underground fight club.
Which, that's our first connection to, like, Phase 4 MCU, I guess?
Yes.
Because that's a reference to Shang-Chi. You get to see him and Wong fighting. They're fighting each other in that.
Yeah, they do fight each other.
I guess they're just working out or something. I don't know. But remember, like, back in Shang-Chi, looking at the portal that Wong's opening to take Abomination back, and everyone's like, oh, what's this holding facility for Abomination? And it turns out it's literally just his prison cell. And he's going back to the third time. We as nerds tend to read into things too much. And when it pays off, it's great. And when it doesn't, we look like fucking nerds.
So let's see. She lose a job. Oh, I love. She walks into that new place, and all the guys are just like money, 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 or whatever. They're like. Oh fuck. It's so funny. And then Blonsky sort of being reformed, and he's got his 7 wives,
7 soulmates.
7 soulmates. That's it.
His pen pal soulmates.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very very
he
good.
Introduces them at his little parole hearing thing as his better eighths.
Yeah.
The polite, reformed namaste Emil Blonsky is very fun.
Very much so. And yeah, like, it continues on from the tradition, I guess, of the MCU so far has been like take certain characters and like, flip them on their heads, and yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and also it's not often that we get like recurring villains showing up, either reformed or not. Usually they just die. So it is nice to see one actually come back, especially one from so fucking early on. Now, where the fuck is Justin Hammer?
Where is he? Armor Wars is never coming out. It's not happening.
I feel like there's a really good, like, timely story we can do with some dipshit billionaire who's bad at inventing things and takes credit for everyone else's work.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't fucking put my finger on it.
I couldn't even. What would you even write?
Anytime
How-
within the next 4 years, I think you could do something really interesting with that.
They hear that? You got 4 years, Feige.
Right, 4 more years.
4 more years. Episode 3, The People versus Emil Blonsky. Walters confronts Blonsky, who explains that he was removed from his cell by the Sorcerer Supreme Wong, and that he returned to prison willingly afterwards. While she attempts to contact Wong, news of her appointment as Blonsky's lawyer stirs up public controversy. Wong meets with Walters and agrees to testify at Blonsky's parole hearing, during which Blonsky demonstrates his ability to remain in control as the Abomination. Blonsky is released on parole, but forbidden from transforming again. Meanwhile, Walters' former colleague, Dennis Bukowski, approaches the Human Law Division for a case involving his ex-girlfriend, Runa, a shape-shifting light elf from New Asgard who defrauded him by impersonating Megan the Stallion. The case is assigned to Walters' co-worker, Augustus Pugliese, and Walters helps Pug win the case. After participating in a televised interview, Walters is attacked by the Wrecking Crew, a 4-man criminal group consisting of the Wrecker, Piledriver, Bulldozer, and Thunderball, who are armed with stolen Asgardian construction tools and were hired by an anonymous client to steal a sample of her blood, but Walters is able to overpower them.
The Wrecking Crew is absolutely the dumbest Marvel thing that needed to be referenced. I didn't need them to be really long. I just needed them to show up, have some Asgardian tools, and like thoroughly and quickly dispatched. And they did that.
They did that.
Happy.
Yeah, so fucking dumb, and but they're the best. They're so good.
Did you guys rob an Asgardian construction worker, and he's just like, yeah. Guess so. This episode, like, it's been pretty consistent throughout up to this point, but I think it's this episode where it really hits home how good the supporting cast in this fucking show is.
I agree. I think all of the side characters are really good.
Fucking what's his name?
Bukowski. Yeah.
What a fucking dirtbag.
That first episode where they're in the bar and he's like, "There's a woman over there." He says, "A hot chick over there. I'm gonna go talk to it," and he walks off.
Talk to it. Oh, and then, when they're discussing his case, the lawyer comes in, the one from Hamilton.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't discuss this in front of a 10. I might marry her one day. And the other one is someone towed my Cybertruck. They didn't realize it was disabled parking. I thought it was Cybertruck parking.
And the elf lady is funny, just running around impersonating everyone, and including the judge.
Inappropriate shit, leaving the building as Pug.
Yeah, This episode is really like where it hits its stride for sure. It's just like, it's so good. This episode's so good.
This is also the episode where incel tears flow even further.
Yes.
We can have She-Hulk twerking right next to Megan the Stallion.
Absolutely not. The horror.
What's the world coming to?
Oh my god.
Somebody please think of the children.
Somebody please.
The children. Think of them. Please.
Think of them. This whole episode's so good. Like you said, all of the side characters in this show are just, even the ones that you just, I guess you're supposed to hate, like they're so fucking good.
You were supposed to hate that man, and I do. The fuck is he funny?
Yeah, exactly.
Even in the first couple episodes, Jen's dad is like, we are following on in the tradition of MCU shows having very wholesome father figures, with Ms. Marvel having one of the nicest TV dads ever, and Jen also having a really cool, nice TV dad.
Yeah.
Good stuff. We like good dads.
Yeah. Anything else in this episode? No, I don't think so. That's about it. Episode 4, Is This Not Real Magic? Donny Blaze, what a name. A magician at Mystic Castle who was expelled from Kamatage for misusing his powers sends an audience member named Madison King to another dimension where she makes a deal with a demon before being transported to Wong's home in Kamatage. Wong approaches Walters and asks for her help in making an example of Blaze so that people like him will not be able to misuse the mystic arts. So they file a lawsuit against Blaze and Mystic Castle's curator, Cornelius P. Willows. Meanwhile, Walters creates a profile on a dating app in the hopes of expanding her social life, but has little success until she changes it to a profile for She-Hulk. Blaze accidentally unleashes a swarm of demons at one of his shows, but Wong and Walters send them back before threatening Blaze and Willows into complying with a cease and desist order. The next day, Walters learns that Titania has been freed and is filing a lawsuit against her, having trademarked the name She-Hulk.
This is the episode where I begin singing single female lawyer fighting for client, wearing sexy mini skirts and being self-reliant. It's fantastic. This is the Ally McBeal tone that I was hoping for.
Sure. Yeah.
Also, Wong's back and magic. And maybe the greatest side character to ever grace any of these fucking shows.
With 2 N's, 1 Y, but it's not where you think.
Madison is a fucking treasure. And I forgot that she made a deal with a demon.
Yeah, she did.
As you're reading that out, I'm like, oh fuck, that does happen. Are you the goblin thing?
Yeah, right. Yeah, the relationship between Wong and Madison
Oh, they have such a good dynamic.
is so funny.
Party girl and like old fed up mystic. He just wants to watch his shows.
It was so sad.
Just ruins the shows for him.
Yeah, like 3 times?
Like 3 times, yeah.
And every time it's like, oh. And then he just keeps going because he likes her. We all like Madison.
Wongers. It's very good.
Back to the statement you made before of even the characters that you're supposed to hate, you kind of love. Donny Blaze, what a fucking scumbag. Pathetic. I love that entire team, like him, his manager, and his lawyer, all magicians. And the bit where they're just like in the courtroom saying, "Is this not magic?" And they're like pulling handkerchiefs out of their fucking shirts, pulling doves and shit out. Oh, it's so stupid. Yeah. Incredible stuff.
Yeah. This whole Donny Blaze storyline is fantastic, and her going on dates as She-Hulk.
Going on dates as She-Hulk, I didn't get my fix of wrestlers in MCU content last time, but I did this time when I was jump scared by David fucking Otunga as one of the like 3 or 4 dates that She-Hulk goes on. Crazy. David Otunga is not as cool as Seth Rollins. Not even close. But I'll take it.
He's a wrestling guy, so, you know.
I don't know if he is anymore,
there you go. At some point, wrestler. Allegedly. Yeah, what else to say about this episode? Yes, Madison's great. The demon thing's cool. The fight, you know, as she's about to get it on with the dude, she gets pulled away.
In more ways than one.
Yep. Yeah, great.
Like I just like
great episode
and taking him to the bench.
Yeah.
Like, he's clearly not ready for it either. She's a big woman.
Yeah, there you go. That's the episode. That's that one.
Yep.
Oh, and also,
At first it was fun, then scary, then fun again, then spooky, but in a fun way.
Yeah, that sums it up pretty nicely.
I was also going to mention. I love a good lawyer show where they win the cases by like making the person look like a dumbass.
Yeah, this was something I was thinking earlier as well. Where the only way to win your case is to make your client, who is a terrible person, but they're like, it's that lawyer thing of I'm defending or I'm representing a person who is shit, but they're technically right, and that's kind of what matters here.
Yeah.
So how can I do it in a way where they're taken down a peg, but we still win?
And yeah, like it was really good how she came to be Bukowski's like defense.
Yeah, like a character witness.
Yeah.
He couldn't possibly think he was dating the real Megan Thee Stallion. Like, no, he is that stupid.
He definitely is that.
As a New York 10, but an LA 11.
And then and also Megan Thee Stallion is in the courtroom, and then he walks out. Is like, should I go back and like ask her out?
Do I have a shot?
Yeah.
And the other thing from the magician episode is just Wong seems to fucking hate magicians, which is great. Fuck those guys.
Well, I mean, in a universe where there is actual
cheap parlor tricks,
sorcerers, why are there even magicians anyway? You know?
I guess most people don't know about magic, or didn't know about magic until all the superheroes in the world started showing up in one place through magic portals. And
I guess
those people who like saw Doctor Strange once or twice throughout their life being like, hey, that guy's got a cape that's flying and seems to be waving at me. The cape is waving at me.
So episode 5, mean green and straight poured into these jeans. Titania has trademarked the name She-Hulk for a new line of beauty products, which angers Walters. Holloway warns Walters that she needs to deal with this situation quickly and assigns Mallory Book as her attorney for the case. Nikki and Pug come up with a plan to acquire a superhero outfit for Walters from Luke Jacobson, a highly exclusive tailor who provides clandestine services for you. I'm just thinking of it. While Book and Walters countersued Titania, claiming that she is illegally exploiting She-Hulk's fame for profit. Walters is annoyed to discover that Todd Phelps, one of her unsuccessful dates, is also a client at her firm, but this helps her realize that she can use her dating app history to establish a past record of her identifying as She-Hulk before Titania tried to gain the trademark. Using her past dates' testimonies, Walters wins the case and establishes a tentative friendship with Book. Walters later acquires her new customized outfits from Jacobson. The scene where they go to this exclusive place to try and get a custom suit for Jen, and the shit they have to go through, and then it ends with them having to buy merch for Avengers and Avengers.
So that's like the second layer of the front. The first layer of the front is a food place, right? So
it's a food place. I'm trying to remember. It's a food place, and what's her name? Nikki. She talks to him in Chinese, and he's like, "I'm not Chinese." Yeah. Well, she said, "I'm not cops" in Chinese, and then he walks off to the back, and then he comes back out. He comes back out, and then I guess he just goes over. Oh, yes, it takes him over to get merch. And they're like, we don't want any of this. We're just here if we want a custom thing. And then he eventually like gives in and like tells them, yeah, okay, you can do that, but you got to buy some Avengers or an Avengers merch.
Yeah, because they're going to find the drip broker.
So they buy it. Not only do they buy it, they put it on.
Oh, yeah, which am I not going to buy the thing I just bought?
They could have just
give him money.
Could have just given him money, but no. Then it cut to them wearing it with holding a shield and a Thor hammer, and oh my god, it's so fucking funny.
Do you like the line where she's buying the shirt and the guys and the Captain's like, "Yeah, I want to complete the ensemble."
Yeah.
You don't like Avengers? Got Avengers. I just love that her first instinct is to speak Chinese at him and tell him that we're not cops.
Right.
Again, this is another showcase of Nikki and Pug being fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And
also that inter-episode connectivity that you were talking about, all the dates coming up as evidence.
Yep.
Good stuff.
And another example of like embarrassing the person who's being defended just so they can win the case.
Yep.
Except this time it's Jen. No. Mean Green is straight poured into these jeans.
That is not a good line. It is appropriately embarrassing.
Very good. What a
all of her,
good one.
Unsuccessful dates are hitting on Titania as they're walking out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's like, come buy me stuff. That's what she's.
Buy me stuff. Yeah, Jamila Jamil. She's fucking great as Titania.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And also, I like Titania's little turn as superpowered influencer. That's a fun twist on the character.
It is, yeah. Yeah, another great episode. Now, episode 6, Just Jen. Walters is, which... This was before the Barbie movie.
Yes. The Barbie movie was that 2023 or 20... That was 2023, right?
2023.
Yeah.
Interesting. Just Jen, and then somehow Just Ken came out.
Anywhere
Conspiracy? Conspiracy, I think.
Yes. A conspiracy?
Disney should sue. Maybe.
Yes.
Walters is invited to be a bridesmaid at her old friend Lulu's wedding. When she arrives, however, she's disappointed to find that Lulu wants her to present as herself, not She-Hulk, and saddles her with numerous pre-wedding duties. Titania is also present as she is dating one of Lulu's groomsmen. Walters bonds with Josh Miller, a friend of the groom, but Titania attacks her. Following a brief fight, Titania breaks down and storms off. Meanwhile, Book and Nikki work on a divorce case for a superhuman called Mr. Immortal, who had repeatedly faked his death to get out of several marriages. Compounding the problem, 8 of his previous spouses all filed suits against him upon learning his secret via an online video displaying his powers leaked by a website called Intelligentsia. After resolving the case, Book and Nikki discover several death threats directed at She-Hulk on Intelligentsia's message board, which is maintained by an individual known as Hulk King. Elsewhere, scientists working for Hulk King spy on Walters and plan another attempt to steal a blood sample from her.
If I had to say any episode was the weak one, I feel like it's this one. Maybe? I remember the least from it.
I feel like the one after this is the weaker one, which we'll get to in a sec. We could debate that after we talk about the next one, I guess. But I don't mind this one. I think it's fun. Like they're having Titania at the wedding, and like they're having like a little, obviously Titania's
it's a good time
out together, and
these episodes are bad. But for some reason, it's just the one that I don't remember the most. The thing for some reason that I remember the most is the bridal party talking about how the men were all playing Mario Kart and their shirts got crinkled, so they need to be ironed. Like, the fuck kind of Mario Kart are you playing? Jesus Christ.
No, like they really get into it. Slowly.
Yeah, it shows them in the back on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought, this is a fun episode again. It is one of the weaker ones, I think, but I still have fun with it. It's still a fun time.
Horrible teeth.
Yes, she gets her veneers taken off.
The other thing I remember is like, Jesus fuck.
Yeah.
Feel bad about it.
The Mr. Immortal plot line's really good.
It is very funny. That's the kind of like hijinks that I was hoping for when someone says superhero lawyer show. Yeah.
And how having everyone in the room and they're like, okay, we're just going to split all his money 8 ways or however many wives that there was, how many marriages there were.
I think it was 8.
And they were like, well, I was with him for this long, so why am I getting the same as this person who wasn't with him as long? And then the whole wrap up,
a kid with him.
the whole like way they got to it was like he has to just do like embarrassing shit. Like he has to like say I'm sorry with eye contact for 25 seconds.
Yeah, unbroken eye contact.
Yeah. Again, embarrassing the
like that he
defendant.
He has to stress that like he can die in the legal sense, but he doesn't die. Like I'm not sure how that works.
Only Mr. Immortal knows. Another The Mr. I think the Mr. Immortal plotline is the at least it's the funnier one out of the two, but
the B plot is the more interesting one there for me specifically.
Yeah. But. Yeah. It's still a fun episode. The next one, episode 7, The Retreat. Walters goes on several dates with Miller, but he disappears and seemingly ghosts her after they sleep together. While anticipating a text from him, she receives a call from Blonsky's parole officer, who informs her that the inhibitor that stops Blonsky from turning into Abomination is broken, and that he wants her to accompany him to Blonsky's spiritual retreat, Summer Twilight, to check on him. When the officer leaves, Manbull and El Aguila accidentally destroy her car, forcing her to stay there until it can be towed away. Despite the retreat lacking internet and cell coverage, Walters continues to nervously await a response from Miller. She attends a group therapy session with Blonsky, Manbull, El Aguila, Porcupine, Saracen? Is that her? And Rekka, where she's convinced to delete Miller's contact information and let go of her feelings towards him. It is revealed that 3 days earlier, Miller secretly cloned Walter's phone and stole a sample of her blood on behalf of Hulk King after sleeping with her. So yeah, to me this is the weakest episode. It has like an ending, like oh wow, holy shit, ending to it. But everything before it's kind of like, I don't know. It just feels like it's just spinning. Nothing. Yeah, it doesn't really move the plot forward. Yeah. Yep. Which I guess you could say the same about the last one too, but
yeah, this is the mid-season lull with the wedding and the retreat. But
yeah,
again, they're still pretty good. There's some good jokes in there. I do like having these fucking Z-tier villains and heroes. I assume heroes and villains, but they might all just be villains. I don't know. I know Manbull and I knew El Aguila. I'd never seen Porcupine before. But that is a really accurate porcupine costume.
It is. It's very accurate to the comics. Saracen.
In the show, they say he thinks he's a vampire.
He thinks he's a vampire, but he seems to be a vampire in the comics. Maybe it's just because they don't realize the vampires are real yet.
Yeah, everyone's like, magic's a real thing, but vampires fucking crazy. There could never be vampires in our universe, that of the MCU. And at this stage, there may never be.
They may never be.
Taking our time.
I mean, technically there is one, thanks to Deadpool.
In the multiverse somewhere, yeah.
Yes, in the multiverse somewhere.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of movies that never encompassed it before. So, did we have to go back and watch Blade Trinity?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, okay, fuck.
Let's watch
Wrestler Fix. Triple H is in that.
No, Josh, don't do this to me. Oh no, you've opened a can of worms now.
What do you mean?
Look, if we go back and watch the Blade movies, that means we have to watch all of the X-Men.
Oh, I'm regretting my decision.
We have to watch Daredevil. We have to watch Elektra.
Look, I will happily watch watch Daredevil. I think that would be fucking bad, but I like it.
I'm just saying, if we watch Daredevil,
don't
we
know
have
about
to watch
Elektra.
Elektra.
Who the
I'm
fuck
saying.
is Typhoon
Jennifer
Mary
Garner.
Elektra? Is that the bad guy?
Oh God, I don't.
Characters, not.
God,
I care about actors and actresses. I care about characters and nerd shit. Come on.
I haven't seen it for ages. I'm sure I still have it on DVD somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
Um,
I got the little. I don't know if you ever saw the Fox Marvel like steel lunchbox type thing that had all the DVDs inside, because I got that as a birthday gift when I was a teenager.
No, I definitely just bought it separately.
Bad movies. So yeah, I think I watched Elektra once. Not finding any answers at all. But
yep. Typhoid Mary.
Watch. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad I remember that. I don't know what my brain sacrificed in order to keep that fucking knowledge on hand.
The only thing I can tell you is that it was directed by the guy that did the X-Files movie. That's the only thing I remember about it.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I like the X-Files movie. I don't like Elektra.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I don't know if I could do all the Fox Marvel movies. Like, there's some that I really like, and then there's some that are bad that I still like, and then there's some that are just bad. And really, the X-Men movies are like half and half, I think.
I would say I like... Yeah, I guess it is half.
Right? Like,
X-Men
I haven't thought about it that hard, but I feel like half is a pretty good...
I like X-Men. I like X2. I hate 3.
Yep.
I like First Class. I like Days of Future Past.
Wolverine Origins.
I hate Wolverine Origins.
How do you feel about the Wolverine?
The Wolverine's fine. I mean, it's definitely an improvement over Origins. And then
Apocalypse is pretty bad.
very, very bad. And Dark Phoenix is fucking awful.
Dark Phoenix. Uh-huh.
Terrible fucking movie.
Logan's good, so that's...
Logan's great.
6 for Logan. New Mutants.
Oh, God, no. Holy shit. I've even forgot that existed.
Pretty much half.
It's half and
Yeah,
half,
you did.
yeah.
It's a shame we've really wasted Anya Taylor-Joy as Magic in that movie.
Oh, God.
Incredible casting.
I know. What a... Oh, God. Why'd they do that?
Anyway, look forward to us ranking all the Fox Marvel movies. Really
and we don't need to do Hulk because that's not even referenced anywhere.
Yeah, no, that's not even connected to anything.
I guess Incredible Hulk kind of does carry on a little bit, but not really.
Not enough for me to care.
No. Although I do want to... I would watch Hulk again. The Eric Bana one.
I would. It's weird.
It's a weird fucking movie. And I
don't even know if I like it or don't like it, but it is weird.
I've been on record as saying I would rather a movie go fucking nuts than play it safe. And they definitely went nuts with that movie.
It truly is the anti-Brave New World, which is...
There really is, yeah.
Not that brave and really brand new.
Episode 8. The best title.
Woo!
Ribbit it and rip it.
Just generally speaking, is this your favorite episode? Because it is mine.
Absolutely. Well, I was gonna say absolutely.
Oh, no, I think it's tied. I think mine is this one or the third one.
Yeah. I would say it's tied with the third one. Yes. Walters takes on a new case representing Eugene Patilio / Leapfrog. who wishes to sue Jacobson for giving him a faulty supersuit. Jacobson is represented by Matt Murdock in court and wins the case due to Patilio inadvertently revealing that he disobeyed Jacobson's instructions by using jet fuel in his boosters. Afterwards, Patilio contacts Walters asking for help against an unknown assailant. Walters arrives and battles the assailant, who she discovers to be Murdock as his superhero persona, Daredevil. Murdock reveals to Walters that Patilio kidnapped Jacobson and the two work together to rescue the latter before sleeping together. The next day, Walters attends... that makes it sound like they were going to sleep together, but they just had to do this first, and then... That's not how it worked.
Speed up these goons,
and then... The next day, Walters attends the Southern California Law Awards Gala, where she accepts a Female Lawyer of the Year award, but the gala is interrupted by an intelligentsia broadcast, which smears Walters' reputation by displaying footage of her in bed with Miller. Briefly losing control, Walters goes on a rampage, destroying the gala stage and attempting to capture a nearby intelligentsia member, only to be apprehended by the Department of Damage Control.
I really enjoy the casual banter between Daredevil and She-Hulk. It's very good. But specifically, I want to call out the line where they're talking semantics, where henchmen and goons are not the same thing. They're not interchangeable. Right. The cause, goons are just there for the paycheck.
Yeah.
It's good. It's succinct, and it makes sense.
He has a point. Yes. Daredevil. Daredevil's here, and he's wearing a yellow suit.
Ketchup and mustard.
Ketchup and mustard. Oh wait, when the fuck is the new episode out? When do those episodes drop? Born Again episodes.
No, that was Thursday, wasn't it? Anyway, for people listening to this in the future, Daredevil Born Again is in the process of releasing weekly. So. And those
first two episodes are fucking sick, bro. I think episode 3 might be out now.
Oh, fuck.
Or maybe tomorrow. No, tomorrow.
I guess either tomorrow or Thursday.
It's tomorrow.
Well.
Looking forward to that. But also, so I have questions. Is this the same Matt Murdock from Born Again / Netflix Daredevil? Because he has this suit. He doesn't have it in the new show.
Hey, so I also had some questions about this. But I will try to answer this one first. The first little chunk of Born Again is set before a time jump, right?
Yeah, it is.
That's set in like what, 2022? 2021?
Sounds good. Isn't there like just a year? Years, right? I thought it was a year in between the beginning and...
No, you're right. It is a year.
Yeah.
So it's like just 2026 in the current time in Born Again, so 2025. So, I mean, he's had 2 years to get different suits. I imagine that shit.
I guess.
All the time. I mean, just look at his suit in Born Again. It's fucking not a suit.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Did you say you had questions?
Yeah. Well, I did have a question, but I feel like I've rationalized it pretty well. And it was, were Karen and Matt dating during... Matt cheat on Karen with She-Hulk because that big fucking slut. Matt Murdock, you slut. Although I was reminded they were on sort of like a friend break. They were on a break.
Yeah, that's what I said. At the beginning of the first episode of Born Again, they seem very much not... Like, he wants to, but she's like, nah.
Yeah, they're kind of friending it. And then there's a bit of a will they, won't they? And then and then things go down.
She wants to, and he doesn't. It's one way or the other.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, I don't think they're together.
So that was my initial question rewatching this, and then I was like, I guess I guess it's fine. Although Matthew Murdock is a slut.
He is.
Or a cat.
Absolutely. An absolute whore of a man.
Whore.
Bongers.
Ew. I don't like it in that context.
It was so sad.
Yes, this is a fun episode. We get a little bit of Daredevil fighting. It's like they set up to do like a hall fight, and then She-Hulk drops in and it's like, nah.
She-Hulk smash.
Exactly.
Yeah, she does. Up top.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. There's a lot of fun action stuff going on here, and like the banter continues mid-fight. They're giving legal advice to Leapfrog mid-fight.
Right.
I love it. All his henchmen have fucking like mini crossbows with poison darts,
Mm-hmm.
and they're talking about how they don't want to be no baby frogs. Like
You're right, yeah.
they were gonna call them tadpoles.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And one guy being like, didn't he want to call us tadpoles? Like, do you not know what a baby frog is?
She gets the female lawyer award, and then all of the women get it.
Oh, it was the most, like, I remember watching it the first time being like, what the fuck is going on?
That's very funny. And then yes, the reveal to her that she was filmed and she had sample taken.
Shit in the world.
It's really fucked. And
Here, revenge porn in front of your friends, family, and coworkers.
Enjoy, everybody. And then she hulks out, and everyone's like, "How dare you!"
There is a reasonable amount of anger.
Yeah, exactly. In episode 9, whose show is this? Walters is released from DODC custody, but is forced to wear an inhibitor to prevent her from transforming and loses her job at GLK&H. Nikki and Pug infiltrate an Intelligentsia event where they learn that Phelps created Intelligentsia and reveals he is Hulk King, and Blonsky as the Abomination is serving as a motivational speaker. Walters arrives at the event and confronts Phelps, who injects himself with her blood and transforms into a Hulk. After Titania and Banner unexpectedly appear in the ensuing fight, a confused Walters destroys her inhibitor and breaks the fourth wall to confront the show's writers in Marvel Studios Assembled. She meets with Kevin, Kevin, an artificial intelligence that claims to be in charge of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's storyline decisions, and persuades it to rewrite the finale, to which it reluctantly agrees. Returning to her show, she finds Phelps and Blonsky being arrested. While celebrating with her family and Murdoch, Banner returns from Sakaar with his son, Scar. After regaining her job and being cleared of all charges, Walters vows to continue her work as a lawyer and a superhero. In a mid-credit scene, Wong breaks Blonsky out of prison and takes him to Kamatage.
Single female lawyer, having lots of sex.
So,
This is a
okay.
fucking wild last episode. Jesus Christ.
I have mixed feelings on this episode. I was on board. I was on board with everything up until he injects himself with the shit and becomes a big green hulky guy. And then, look, I like a fourth wall break.
All at once.
I like a fourth wall break. Okay, I think it's fun. It's a fun thing to do, and I also love changing aspect ratios as soon as she breaks out of the thing too. It goes from being a scope to a flat, and I love that shit. But it's also like it's just calling attention to the fact that they were.
The MCU has a lot of patterns that it falls into. A lot of
yes,
issues.
It feels like the show is trying to apologize for all of the shows ending the way they do.
We're lampshading something, but we're not necessarily fixing it.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like we're going to point out that this is a thing that we're doing, and we're going to say we'll fix it, but we're going to do it, and then we're going to just undo it.
We're not.
It's just they're saying they want to avoid the tropes, and then they do it just to say we're not going to do it, and then they just undo it.
It really smacks of look at us, we're doing the good thing.
Right.
Well, they actively do it and then do it specifically so they can undo it. Yeah, it's a bit disingenuous while also being incredibly on the nose and super chaotic. Holy shit!
Once like you could see where it was going as soon as fucking Titania breaks in, and then
shows up.
and then Bruce falls through the roof. It's like, okay, this is obviously leading somewhere else.
This is silly.
Yeah.
This is a farce.
But I do love Kevin with his hat and
The hat! It's so dumb!
and she's asking him questions like when do we get the X-Men, and she's like at the camera, and yeah, it's fun. It's just I don't know. It's not
fun, and it feels like appropriate for the character given her like comics.
Yes.
Like,
right.
I don't know. I do also have issues with this the way they wrap this up. It's like both incredibly chaotic and also wraps up so fast that it's like, what was even the point of any of it?
Right. It feels like, oh, it was all a dream. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, that is kind of the sort of vibe that we're getting here.
Yeah.
The way they do it, again, really cool. Like you said, changing the aspect ratio, doing the fucking menu, the Disney Plus menu, where
yes,
it pops out of her show and swings down. Love that. I thought my app crashed the first time I saw that. I'm like, shit, what happened? Love a lot of that. Kevin being a robot, his dumb little baseball cap.
Yeah.
The writer's room being like weirdly cultish about Kevin.
Yeah.
They would kill for Kevin. There's heaps of stuff to like about the episode. It starts with the retro show intro, which
oh yeah, the intro is so good. It's like fully just based on the original show.
Yeah. So I was going to say, there was a She-Hulk show back in the day, right? Or is this just cribbing off the original Hulk
It's just taking from the Hulk show with Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's the full, like, the car thing where she hulks out. That's taken from the first episode.
Yeah. But, like, the fashion, the quality of the image.
Yeah.
Everything there. And the fact that they get a dude in drag to play She-Hulk.
Yes.
Fucking incredible.
I really wish I got Lou Ferrigno in a wig. That would have been so good.
It would have been very funny. Yeah, no, I really enjoy that. And while it's definitely the messiest episode, it's more memorable than the two that I'm like, they're fine.
Yeah, that's fair.
I feel more positive towards this, despite probably having bigger problems overall. It's just that it takes a lot of swings.
Yes, again, I do like swings. Yeah.
I love a good swing.
It's a good.
I also really like the really gross Hulk transformation, where his arms get really big and drop to the ground.
Right. Yeah.
It's gross. A Hulk transformation should be gross.
Yeah, it's a decent end to the show. It's just like it's trying to have its cake and trying to eat it too. Whatever the saying is. So there you go.
You pretty much nailed that. Also, Scar is here now. We just have a Hulk child.
Then fun again. Then spooky, but in a fun way.
That sums it up.
Yeah, it was spooky in a fun way.
It was so sad.
I don't know about sad.
Wait, tell me about the arm again.
The arm?
Yeah,
no, big, like, gross arms getting heavy and dropping
Ew.
to the ground.
Ew.
He's also, like, not a cool-looking Hulk. He looks like a little person, which is very funny. Like, misproportionate.
Right, yeah.
And he's like, his eyes are bugging out. It's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
But again, they just kind of fall into the... We're just doing the mirror villain thing, only to not do it. I don't know. It's a weird, messy ending.
It is.
It
So,
is a hot mess.
that being said, that is She-Hulk. I like the show a lot.
I also do.
Let's now
Good
discuss our Starks and Stanks. I don't know. Okay, you want to start?
I know. Well, yeah.
You know?
because you did it first last time, and
Okay, sounds good.
Suggested a spot for Captain America, which means you get to suggest the spot this time.
Mhm.
Anyway, my first Stark for She-Hulk Attorney at Law. I love the case of the week, lower stakes format of the show.
Yep.
It's unique within the MCU,
Mhm.
and it's incredibly digestible. Part of that is obviously coming back and watching it for the purposes of this show. I ain't got a lot of time, but watching this show, it fucking flew by. I had so much fun watching it. I could
Yes.
go for like 30 to 40 minutes of She-Hulk every week in perpetuity. Even if it had no bearing on the rest of the MCU, if you just did this show weekly, I'd be cool with it.
I agree.
Do it.
Absolutely.
Please.
I similar to like bringing random. My first Stark is bringing random characters in from the comics that have no business getting any attention just for an episode is really fun. Like just bring in like the most random characters, dig them up from somewhere, and put them in the show and make fun of them. It's fucking great. Every week, have a new dumbass come in.
Yep, absolutely. If they ever capitalize on anything from Eternals, and if they ever make another She-Hulk season, because God knows this was not well received by a lot of loud dipshits. I would love to see them take on the whole Star Fox case from the comics, Star Fox the Rapist,
Yeah.
because I think that would be funny.
It would be something. I don't. It'd be funny, but something.
Well, no, because he's not is the spoiler.
Okay.
There's a whole thing.
Uh-huh.
It's a whole adventure. I'm pretty sure they go to space because.
Okay. Well, sure.
But yeah, like you don't even need to tie it into the MCU. Just give me more She-Hulk, and I'd be happy with it.
Yes, I agree.
That was my first Stark, and you rolled your first Stark in there as well.
Yep. What is your second Stark?
My second Stark is the show's cast is super fucking likable. Holy shit. Tatiana Maslany does a fantastic Jen Walters.
Yeah.
Nikki and Pug are great. Even the characters you are supposed to fucking hate are fucking fantastic. Even the characters that show up for an episode, like Madison or Jen's dad or Mr. Immortal, are like, they're really good. They have no right being that good. They show up once and then fuck off forever.
Right.
Donnie Blaze, fantastic. Donnie Blaze is fucking manager. His hype man. Love that guy.
That's pretty similar to my second Stark too. Jen is great, but all of the side characters are just as fun, and there's not a single one I hate, even the ones you're supposed to hate. Yeah, the whole cast.
Stallion, according to the internet.
Whatever. A bunch of fucking losers. Yeah, all of the characters
really
are great. It's all fun. They're all fun. It's so good.
Yep.
And everyone's really good in the roles they have.
Yeah. Yep. Even David Otunga's there for some reason.
Probably for a paycheck. If I had to guess.
Yeah. No, look, he's not. As far as I'm aware, he's not wrestling, so he's not getting paid there. And even if he was wrestling, he probably wouldn't be getting paid there. Stanks.
Yes.
The focus on comedy. My first
Mhm.
the focus on comedy means action typically takes a back seat, which isn't an issue per se.
Mhm.
But I generally did enjoy the action that She-Hulk Attorney at Law has.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind more of it.
That's fair. I kind of like it that it's not action heavy. I kind of like that it's just a fun lawyer show with some superhero stuff. Like I'm fine with that stuff, and every now and then have a fight some demons or whatever. But yeah, I can understand. Like
fights, I want to say, out of 9
Yeah.
episodes.
pretty much.
Give me one more.
Well, you get she fights Titania a couple of times.
Get her in Titanium. I'll take it then. It's good enough.
Daredevil.
Give me like a bigger fight with Titania.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Like, if you want more action, that's fair. But
I wouldn't hate it.
yeah, that's fair enough. My first stank is, I mean, we already talked about it, but even though I enjoy the big fourth wall break in the final episode, it does kind of seem like a cop-out. Instead of just avoiding the tropes that they're wanting to avoid, they put a pin in them and tell us they're not going to do it.
Yeah, that's pretty much my second stank.
Yeah,
that last episode, everything gets wrapped up really quickly with no fuss, and it seems kind of pointless. Yeah, not great, but the way they do it is fun, so that's at least a thing.
Yeah, I guess. Not the best final episode, but it's okay.
If you're going to have a bad idea, you may as well have fun with it.
Yes, I agree. My second. Oh wait, your second stank.
That was pretty much it.
Oh, okay, fair enough. My second stank. Not enough Wong and Madison.
I need more Wong and Madison. If you gave me a spin-off show.
That's what I need.
My favorite thing about that clip is just like
you can hear Wong at the end.
Yeah.
2 N's, 1 Y, but it's not where you think.
Fucking every line out of her mouth is
good. She's very good, and yes, it would have been nice to have more Wong and Madison. Maybe in the future, maybe one day they'll be hanging out again.
Yep.
We'll see.
Give me a fucking post-credits scene in Blade or something.
Just randomly.
Yes.
Just shove him in somewhere. All right, now
Madison just happens to be in Dracula's castle or some shit.
just walking around.
Yeah.
Now comes the part of the show where we rank She-Hulk. This week I am
part of the show.
So, would they? Who would say that?
Me, because it's not me who has to do it this week.
Okay, sure. This week, just for you. This is where I rank it in the pantheon of MCU things.
You need a rundown.
Yeah, okay, you go for it. Well, I think.
All right. Our current listing is number 1, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Number 2, Thor: Ragnarok. Number 3, Avengers: Endgame. Number 4, Iron Man 3. Number 5, Guardians of the Galaxy. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Avengers: Infinity War. Captain America: Civil War. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Werewolf by Night. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Moon Knight. The Avengers. Black Panther. Hawkeye. Captain America: The First Avenger. Loki. WandaVision. Ms. Marvel. Eternals. Ant-Man. Doctor Strange. Spider-Man: Homecoming. First season of What If, Iron Man, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Spider-Man: Far From Home, Spider-Man: No Way Home, Black Widow, Thor: Love and Thunder, Thor, The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, Avengers: Age of Ultron, The Incredible Hulk, Captain America: Brave New World, Thor: The Dark World, Iron Man 2 at number 39.
I think this should go at number 18. Below Loki, above WandaVision.
Ooh.
That is where I would put it. I think...
Shit.
Look, Loki's so good. Everything in that show is so good. And obviously, we're not counting season 2 because we haven't got to there yet. But season 1, very good. WandaVision is also very good, but I think if we're talking final episodes, even though this one wasn't amazing, I think this is a much better final episode than WandaVision. And
I see where you're coming from with that. And ultimate, yeah, I guess I do agree. Like, WandaVision might be a more competent final episode, but it's not as fun and it's not as interesting. Like,
and I'll like, there's also just there's little things during WandaVision that don't quite work. Like, obviously, like, there's her brother that's back, but he's not the brother we know, but he is a guy from a different universe, and he ends up not even being
fan service, that thing that you love.
Yeah, he's wasted, right? I feel like there's nothing wasted in She-Hulk. I don't think there's any characters that are wasted. I don't think anyone comes in and is like, what's going on there?
I would say, yeah, specifically WandaVision gets handed characters that everyone is like, oh, you could do some really cool shit with them, and it turns out to be nothing. Whereas She-Hulk gets handed almost nothing and does the most with it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, you're right. I don't know what I was going to argue. Because I definitely thought it was above WandaVision. As much as I love WandaVision, She-Hulk.
Yes.
She-Hulk is just so... It's such its own fucking thing that it's hard to compare it to a lot of these things.
Yeah, I guess.
I'd almost be inclined to, like, push it above Hawkeye, but I think Hawkeye is better rounded as a show.
Yeah, I think Hawkeye is better overall.
Same with Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think 18 is a pretty suitable place for She-Hulk.
Alrighty, She-Hulk at number 18. Above WandaVision.
WandaVision. And above Iron Man, which is our watermark.
Yep. Oh, it's definitely better than Iron Man. No offense to Iron Man.
More interesting than... No, fuck Iron Man.
But that's our midpoint. Although now looking at it, it's not the midpoint anymore.
On my personal ranking, I have it at number 5. Oh, I absolutely put it there immediately after watching, being like, "Fuck the She-Hulk, fuck the haters."
It's a very good show. Although now our midpoint is now Ms. Marvel at 20. So.
Yeah, you know what? I'm happy with that. I think that's appropriate.
So now it's anything better or worse than Ms. Marvel.
Did you say this was our 40th?
This is our 40th.
What the fuck am I missing on here?
I don't know. What are you missing? I just added She-Hulk, and I've got 40.
My list says 39.
Did you not put Brave New World on there?
Afterwards. No, I got Brave New World between Hulk and Thor. What the fuck am I missing?
Okay, I'll read them out, and then you can tell me. Here's our list now as it stands. Captain America the Winter Soldier, Thor Ragnarok, Avengers Endgame, Iron Man 3, Guardians of the Galaxy, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Avengers Infinity War, Captain America Civil War, Shang-Chi, Werewolf by Night, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Moon Knight, Avengers, Black Panther, Hawkeye, Captain America the First Avenger, Loki, She-Hulk, WandaVision, Ms. Marvel, Eternals, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man Homecoming, What If, Iron Man, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Spider-Man Far From Home, No Way Home, Black Widow, Thor Love and Thunder, Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, Avengers Age of Ultron, Hulk The Incredible Hulk, Brave New World, Thor: The Dark World, Iron Man 2.
I'm not missing anything. There's maybe. Oh yeah, okay. The fucking letterbox. Letterbox when I go out of it is just like, you've got 39 films. I'm like, what the fuck? And I just scroll down and it updated to 40. The fucking bastard out.
Very good. Well done, Letterboxd.
Foolish.
But there you go. That's our rankings now as they stand. Next week we'll be back with an episode of Total Badness, the podcast. After that, well, let me check what our next Stark or Stank is. It will be. Oh, it's going to be an interesting one because I remember this being okay. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, it's
will
been
be.
A while. I remember enjoying it.
I remember it being fine. I definitely didn't enjoy it as much as the first one.
Accurate.
But we'll see how we go when we talk about that in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, that'll be good to go back and watch it because a lot of these Phase 4 and soon to be Phase 5 things I've only seen one time.
Yeah, I watched it in cinemas and then I attempted to watch it when it came out on Disney Plus, and much like everyone else that watched that movie on Disney Plus, it was fucking dark. You can barely see shit in that movie.
Can't wait.
So
it's Black Panther. What do you want?
Not just because of that. I'm talking like lighting wise.
Come on, man.
You can't see much. So it will be interesting. Maybe they've updated it and made it so you can see shit now. I don't know.
Wouldn't count on it.
It was so sad.
Sure was, Madison. It sure
If
was.
I remember right.
With 2 N's, 1 Y, but it's not where you think.
Ah, so good. Anyway,
Perfect.
we'll see you next week for the other show and 2 weeks for this show. Goodbye.
Hell yeah. Bye-bye.
Okay, we are done.
I didn't
And now
think that I would hit my camera dead on with this hair tie, but I